Welcome to this screencast. We are looking at East Midlands Airport and we are doing a SWOT analysis of our local airport. The SWOT analysis: strengths, opportunities, weaknesses and threats. Strengths and opportunities are positives, while weaknesses and threats are negatives. And strength and weakness come from inside the business. So they are characteristics of a business, while opportunities and threats, they come from the outside. So that might be characteristics of the competitors, or maybe something about the environment, the industry in which the business operates. So going back to East Midlands Airport, it's our local airport in the centre of the country near Nottingham and Derby, Leicester. It's owned by the Manchester Airport groups, and in recent history, it saw a massive rise in passengers, followed by a sharp drop about 10 years ago, and hasn't really recovered from that before we look into what happened with COVID. Another thing to mention about our local airport is that it's the largest cargo freight airport in the country. If we put all of this into our SWOT analysis, we are going to find, so SWOT analysis, resume, and we find that first airport in the country for cargo, and then also being owned by a large consortium of airports, Manchester Airport Group, so that would give access to potential source of finance if there is a large project to grow the airport. So those are strengths, they come from within the business. Weaknesses, so passengers find it expensive, especially just to access the airport, and customer satisfaction surveys are not very good for East Midlands Airport. It has lost EasyJet and BMI Baby, two established airlines that were operating from the airport. EasyJet moved its operation to Birmingham. BMI Baby, when it was bought by British Airways, closed its operation at East Midlands. So all what's left now are Ryanair and then all the holiday operators flying charter planes from the airport. You could also question whether Manchester Airport Group, if their priorities are in growing East Midlands Airport or whether they will concentrate on Manchester Airport. In terms of opportunities, the fact that it's centrally located, so fantastic for freight, for cargo. It's very efficient if you land in the center of the country and then you can dispatch the cargo to all corners of the country, especially as the airport is located right next to railways and motorways. So that's an opportunity as the region is growing this gateway rail freight hub. So that's a fantastic chance for the airport to grow and be even more successful for its cargo operation. In terms of threats, travel restrictions and environmental concern, this would impact every airport. But I added the possibility of Ryanair closing its operation or moving to a different airport or reducing the number of routes it's flying from. This has already happened with EasyJet and BMI Baby, so that threat there is linked to a weakness because, two airlines closing, that leaves just Ryanair plus the holiday operators. So what could you do with this analysis? Well, you can pinpoint some gaps in the market, or you can identify something that the business can concentrate on, either to improve and turn a bad situation around, or to carry on building on its strength. So the strength of East Midlands Airport is obviously what's going on with the freight, and something that it did better in the past. If I go back to that graph here, so in the past it was able to ramp up the number of passengers very, very successfully, and there was a time when there were discussions to use this centrally located airport to attract more passengers flying them to Europe in order to lighten the loads of bigger airports in other parts of the country. This has gone very quiet nowadays, unfortunately for us. I hope you found this SWOT analysis useful, and I look forward to reading your answers in the upcoming test.